Today we're doing a Valorant signature abilities tier list. This tier list is solely based off of the actual ability and not the agent who has that ability. So, for example, this Brimstone, even though the agent Brim is, he's pretty bad right now, his stim beacon's pretty bad, and his Molly and ult, they're pretty good, but overall he's kind of a poor agent. These are still pretty good smokes. They last for a decent amount of time, but you only get one of them. You only get one per round. You have to buy the other two. They do last for a decent amount of time, but when you pull out your iPad to put them out, it does make some noise, and so they're going to go into B tier for that. I made a video on Skye and my thoughts on her right when she came out, and her flashes are pretty good because you can guide where they go, you can choose where they go, and you can choose when they detonate. And so I feel that that's a really powerful thing to have in a game like Valorant, because it's definitely the best flash, because all the other flashes have some sort of gimmick. But hers, yes, they can be shot, but they blind for 2.5 seconds, and you can choose when and where they detonate, which is honestly pretty broken. So they're going to go in A tier. Next up, we got Omen Smokes. These are, I think everybody knows where this is going. These are by far the best smokes in the game. They last the longest. They regen. You get 2 per round minimum if you don't use any. You usually get 3 in a round, 4 if you live long enough. And yes, they are hollow. You can see inside them, but they last for a long time. They regen. Breach's stun. It's when you get stunned, they change it so it unscopes you now. Your fire rate is, I think, 15% of what it usually is or something. Your aim is shaky, it's wobbly. But I feel you need to be so precise with it, and you can only hit one angle at a time, that this honestly has to go into D tier. A lot of Breach's other abilities are really good, like his Aftershock and his flashes and his ult. They're all super strong, but his fault line's the weakest ability right now. Sage's heal used to be so good. It used to do like 100 in like 5 seconds or something. And now it only does 60 in 5 to other people and 60 in 10 seconds to herself. And so this just has to go in D. There's a bunch of other better heals. Reyna has a heal. Skye can heal. Like, Skye's heal is pretty good. Phoenix has a heal. And, it's just not the best. Phoenix's Molly it's not a good, utility. It's good to heal, but other than that, I don't really see players using his Molotov for, mollying an actual spot or clearing corner. They kind of save it for the heal. And I'm kind of stuck between B and C for this one. I think solely for the fact that it doesn't just poof like the Molotovs in CSGO do when you throw them too high. It just falls straight down. I'm going to put it in B because it can be really useful for after plants, and it's kind of easy to aim for when you're actually cutting off a choke point. Jett Dash. I think we've all seen the power of Jett Dash and how after she shoots an op shot or a scout or anything really, she can just get away. It's pretty OP, and that you get it back after 2 kills. This has to go into S tier. And the reason I'm putting an S and not A is because even though Riot said they don't want it to be used to get into combat, it's still super effective because a lot of players don't have the reaction time and the pure aim to flick to the Jett when she dashes onto site or past you, that she can get a frag because she's ready for it. And it's just super useful in a lot of situations. Next we got Viper's Wall. I feel like I have a lot of mixed feelings about this one. And that's because if you put it pre-round, the enemy can see where you're putting it and you can't pick it up. So if you decide not to go to that site or that area, it's basically useless, and you just put it up for no reason. I think Viper is pretty weak right now. She did get a lot of buffs. It does deploy faster once you put it up. But she's just not a good character, and this is not a good ability. So I'm gonna put it in C. Cypher's Cam, it's going in A tier. That's because information is just one of the most important aspects in a game like Valorant. Because Raze's Nade, for example, a lot of these damaging abilities, like, yeah, they're useful, but if you miss, you can't do anything. It doesn't do anything. And Cypher's Cam, like, even if it gets shot down, you still get information. If you get a tag, you get information. And although a lot of the spots get pre-fired by good players, it's still a pretty good ability. Next, we got Sova's Recon Bolt. I'm putting this in S tier. It's just so powerful. It scans a whole area, and it's not like the Cypher Cam where it's like, I think, like a 1 second interval between when you get like scanned. It's constant scanning. You can spam through smoke, spam through boxes. Yeah, this might be a little bit biased, but I've just gotten killed because of a Sova arrow so much recently. And I don't know if that's because I've just been getting unlucky or all these Sova mains I run into are like super good, but I've just been getting fragged out because of these Sova arrows so much recently. The Reyna's stuff, I mean, you get both of them for free, but on the wiki fandom or something, it says that her Dismiss is the signature ability. I'm going to put it in B. It's just useful to just get out of situations. Like if you're being tagged running away, you can just grab it. I've saved myself multiple times from a Raze ult because I've grabbed it. And it can just be really useful it's just a get out of jail free card. Killjoy's Turret. I have mixed feelings about this one, solely because on pistol round it's so broken. It's like, it's one of the worst abilities. It's one of the worst things when they have an enemy Killjoy, because it just takes off like half your health. They did nerf it by making all of Killjoy's stuff deactivate when she dies or goes out of range of it. But it's like a Cypher tripwire. You can smoke it, which is a big thing that a lot of high level players do. They just smoke it and walk past it. It's not really useful against a full buy other than information. It won't do much damage. Funny story, I actually, in a match I played, it was a 1v2. I was Killjoy, and my turret literally got 2 kills in a burst because they were both low. So that was pretty funny, yeah. And I'm just going to put this in B because it feels fairly balanced at the moment. With the alarm bot, though, it can be really annoying, especially when she peeks with it. And lastly, we have Raze's Nade. I main Raze, actually. And I'm not going to lie, I get more kills than I should with this. Granted, I do play a lot of unrated for fun, but I genuinely don't think this is that good. It can flush out like spots and corners, but on defense, to stop a rush, you can't use the Raze Nade. It's not very good at that because they either get hit once or hit 4 times, and they just run through between the detonations. And I'm just gonna, like, I love Raze, I love her abilities, but I'm gonna have to put it in C, solely because you have to be very precise with it. Omen definitely there. I was questioning putting Jett in A, but solely because you can actually get into combat and out of it with it, I'm gonna leave her in A. I'm kind of like, I don't really know where to put Raze Grenade because I feel like my experiences are biased because I play a lot of Raze. But I'm gonna leave her in C. Let me know if you disagree with that. I really feel bad putting these two in D tier solely because I love playing Breach. He's one of my favorite characters. But this, I feel like I just don't get enough stuns with this. It's just too, you just need to be too precise with it. Maybe I'm just bad with it. Let me know if you disagree with it in the comments. If you did enjoy, subscribe. Check out my Twitch in the description. And check out this cute end card. Peace.